Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today I'm gonna be reviewing a movie in my car because I didn't feel like driving all the way home before I did this video. Mostly because this movie wasn't that great. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. So I'm gonna be talking about 65, the latest Adam Driver movie, and honestly, it did a lot of things right, and it did one or two things badly, and those two things, or maybe only just one thing, kind of ruined the experience of the movie for me for a bit, because it's just so wrong that it like takes you out of the experience. So what is 65? 65 is basically a lone wolf and cub escort mission type movie set in a Earth 65 million years ago. So Adam Driver and the girl that he's escorting are basically aliens. They look exactly like humans. Adam Driver is basically a space truck driver like Han Solo. But he's also kind of has like this military training aspect to him. So he is flying the ship. He's the only one aboard the ship that is like awake, because everyone else is in cryogenesis. And he's flying through this, you know, area of space. Eventually he comes across this large asteroid field. And his ship basically can't deal with the damages incurred. So it throws up an alarm, wakes him up. He gets up and they crash, and it like fucks up his ship, and his ship gets split in two. One half ends up on a mountain, the other half ends up on the ground in this kind of like Dagobah-esque swamp area. And all of the people that he was transporting, except for one of them, are dead. All of their cryogenic pods have been destroyed through the crash, except for one, and this one happens to have a girl called Koa in it. And so he goes, he retrieves her, he keeps her alive for a while she wakes up, and then basically it's like, okay, we gotta do an escort mission. The other half of the ship has one escape pod that functions, and you're someone that I have to save. You're the same age as my daughter. I have to do something for you. So he does this, and along the movie we find out that basically his daughter died while he was on this mission, right? Because the reason he took this mission was because his daughter was sick. She had some sort of like space cancer thing, and she needed special treatment that costed a lot of money. And if he did this trip, he would get the money to pay for her thing. So he took this trip, and in the middle of the trip, she died. And so he basically has no reason to live, except he finds out that this girl's still alive. So he's like, okay, I'm going to escort you to the place, and if we both manage to make it out alive, I'll take this pod with you. Otherwise, you have to do it yourself. And the thing is that this girl doesn't speak the same language as him, so they can't communicate, which adds a level of difficulty to this story, right? All of that is good. Like, I had a good time with all of that. The problem is that the setting of the world is Earth when there was dinosaurs. But none of the dinosaurs are real dinosaurs that would have existed at the time, or are so over-designed that they just look like ugly lizards, right? And there's an element of, like, there's a part of me that's like, you know what, maybe what they were going for is, from the perspective of Adam Driver and the girl, these lizards, these dinosaurs look super alien, and so they over-designed to compensate for that. But if that's the case, we wouldn't be able to tell, right? We can't actually tell that. We can't, because they don't tell us that ever. So if that was the case, and clearly it's not, but if that was the case and they had decided to do that, wouldn't it have been better for them to just randomly crash on some place that also had to have like the meteor at the end of the story? I think it was just an excuse to have like Adam Driver in a dinosaur movie, but then they didn't really care about making the dinosaurs legit. And that's the biggest problem, because anytime a dinosaur shows up, I'm analyzing whether the dinosaur looks like other dinosaurs I've seen in TV before. Like, I don't necessarily want them to look exactly like Jurassic Park dinosaurs, but I feel like they should look a lot more similar to that. And what ends up happening is that they look like Komodo dragons that have like really long back legs, and they're all really emaciated, like they all really are like really skinny looking. And it makes the scenes where they appear less enjoyable to watch, because those dinosaur creatures are just so ugly. And like, you know they're dinosaurs because the movie starts by telling you before humans came 65 million years ago, we had visitors. And then Adam Driver crashes there and then he sees dinosaurs. Some of them don't look too bad, but they're not very good either. Like, I don't know. It just makes it really hard to enjoy the movie when you're trying to, like, you know, think it's a dinosaur survival movie and then none of the dinosaurs look legit, right? So I don't know. I think it's a difficult thing to do, but also it's just kind of like, if you didn't want to use realistic dinosaurs, why even set it on Earth, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe realistic dinosaurs cost too much. I doubt it because these dinosaurs looked really super designed. So I don't know. Like, in a different context, I think the designs for the creatures would have been good. It's just that it doesn't work for the premise of the story, right? So that's really my big complaint. Other than that, I thought that the way that the movie was shot was really good. There was some really good jump scares. It wasn't a scary movie, but it definitely had elements of like, hey, we're gonna make you afraid right now. The sound design was good. The technology design was pretty interesting. It kind of had like a vaguely analog feeling, kind of like vibe to it, similar to like early Star Wars, which I liked a lot. I thought that was cool. It had elements of like a first-person shooter type video game that also I thought was pretty cool. There was like a counter on his gun that would like go down. And I'm not really sure what gun he was supposed to have. Like, I don't know if it was like supposed to be a like a shotgun type gun or a assault rifle, because it kind of just worked the way it needed to work for the scene to make sense. So maybe it had like multiple settings on it. I'm not really sure. Other than that, Adam Driver and the girl that played, you know, the girl that was stranded on Earth with him, did a really good job at like playing this like gruff dude, just like not really wanting to do this, but feeling like he has to. And then developing like a connection with her. And then at the end, kind of becoming family over this like struggle that they both have to face. Like, it works really well. And in the time period that we're in, you know, with like Mandalorian and The Last of Us and stuff like that, that sort of story honestly could feel worse than it would have had like felt any other time, because The Last of Us and The Mandalorian did such a good job at that kind of lone wolf and cub type story. But I still felt like the connection between the two characters, even though, you know, technically speaking, it lasted way less than any of the other two that I mentioned. So I think they did a good job. It's just the fact that they said these are dinosaurs and then none of those look like dinosaurs just kind of fucks it up, right? So I don't know. That's it. Like, I only paid $5 for this movie because I came on a Tuesday when, you know, my local Cinemark has discounts. So for what I paid, I think it's worth it. Like, I enjoyed my time there. It was an hour and a half of pretty interesting, kind of fun, turn off your brain survival movie. So I have no problem with it in that sense. It's just like broadly as a movie, it's not that good. It just kind of like is a good way to waste an hour and a half, if that makes sense. So yeah, on one hand, I'm kind of upset because it could have been way better. On the other hand, it did just exactly what I wanted it to do, so I can't complain too much. The only thing I want to say is that this probably set back, you know, dinosaur movies for a while, because it just, like, the dinosaurs in this were not good. And people are not going to want to watch a dinosaur movie if it's either this or Jurassic Park, right? Like Jurassic Park kind of overstayed its welcome at this point with Jurassic World. And we're probably not going to get another movie like that ever again, or for a long time. And 65, the best I can hope for is like a remake in, you know, 40 years when they're trying to play off 2020 nostalgia. So, I don't know. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that bad. I had fun with it, but there's a lot of problems with it. So that's where I'll leave the story, right? So, yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Sorry for the shaky cam. I don't have a tripod or anything right now, so I'm just holding it with my hand. And, well, it does that a lot. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And, did you watch 65? Did you not? What did you think about it? Let me know down below. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys in the next video.